Hi guys, Charlie Tango 1 here. This is just a follow-up really of fire starting equipment that you can put in a drinking straw. Part 3 I think it is. Well, this little bit is only an addition bit. Part 4. Basically it's a follow-on from 2 or 3 of the other items that I actually mentioned on part 3. And that was in relation to ferrous rods and these things that I think you saw on the third one. Get them on eBay. They got the powdered, where are we? Here we are. They got these powdered things. This is a Chinese one, absolute rubbish. I was talking to you about it. And what they've done is they've ground them down and they sell them on eBay, £2 something I think, in these little watertight, different colours they come in, silly money, you know, only a couple of pence, and it's powder. But I thought, I haven't even tried that yet, I don't even know if it works. So I thought, oh well, I'll have a go. Anyway, so I'll put some in this tin and I'll fire it up with my big ferrous rod, even this. What else was there? Yeah, a flame there. Nothing whatsoever. So, little word of advice: if you see them, if you want the little container, yeah, it's ideal. Got a key ring on it, little rubber seal to make it watertight. Put something else in, whatever you fancy putting in there. But the powder in there, I wouldn't even bother with it. I'll just throw it, because I put, I don't know, must about half a tube in there, put it in here and kept on and on and on, and I thought, it ain't gonna light. It's absolutely pants. It's the same as this stuff. It's got to be the same as that. Just don't want to light. Right, that's that one out of the way. So don't get that. The other thing was this trap I was telling you about, that I gave a little review on this trap called the Coro, and I was explaining that this second spring was really sorry, let's get it right, this second spring here was really, it was all ski whiff. So I did suggest what they needed to do was to they had the blob of weld there, which is trying to serve 2 purposes: keeping this spring in place and keeping the foot mechanism in place. So it's trying to serve 2 purposes. What they've done is they welded a little rod along this piece here to keep this part of the spring in place, as you can see. That way, if I turn it that way, you can see, get this out of the way, you can see the little rod there holding it in place, I believe. Let's turn it so you can, yeah, there it is there, that little bit there. That keeps this piece upright. So what I've done was I brazed a piece on here, on this rod, just brazed it there. Now this rod sits up nice and straight, and I had to bend this angle a bit so it come over this bar. It wasn't quite catching this bar like this one does. Can you see that one? Let's try and see, there we go. It catches over that bar. I don't know if you can see that, actually I've lost it now. Oh yes, there it is. But it wasn't quite catching this one, and what happens is it tripped off, and I thought, well, it's not bent quite enough. So once I put that on, I put this on, altered this. I had to put this in the vise and really, you know, use a bit of brute force and ignorance on that one. But then what I've done was just move the camera down a touch. I thought, right, I'll try it now. But it is it's very strong. Where are we? It's very strong, and I think just one spring will be sufficient to trap a rabbit, a squirrel, marlin, or you know, pine marten, whatever. More than strong enough. So the easiest way to get rid of that, it's quite easy really. You can just disengage one of these. Well, can you see it? Where I've got that spring over this bar, all you do is you go between the spring and flick it off. Flick it off the bar, a la so. Now you've got a loose spring, and it's easy. Just do the reverse to put it on there. Just get a screwdriver on here and the last little bit and flick it over. Bob's your uncle, Fanny's your aunt. There you go. You can see how much I've had to bend that little oh, I keep getting in the way, don't I, of the there it is. You can see it, how much I've had to bend that little bit there to get it to go over this bar, for it to go over this bar here. Anyway, so it's free at the moment like that. All I do is I put it on that little, by that little bit of brazing that I've done there, and then it's under tension there. From there on it's under tension. So, but it's easy enough to do with a screwdriver. So that means now that it's going to be a lot easier to cock it. You can keep this spring over here out of the way. There's your safety catch, and oh, that's how sensitive that is. So anyway, I'm not going to mess around with that. I've showed you what that was doing, but there you saw it go. So there's more than enough strength there to kill a rabbit or a squirrel, whatever. So that's how I think I'm going to leave that. I'm going to leave this spring not under tension. So hang that one up. That's that job finished. So I've just got to, as I say, at a later date, I'm going to spray paint them when it warms up a little bit. I can do that then. Look at that. Some of these rods, this welding, these I don't know if you can see it. No, you can't see these game holders that I made. Oh dear, where are we? This is one I made. Excuse my back. This is one I made for someone that wanted to wear over the shoulders like that. And carry the old pheasants and what have you, if you can see them. And you can get, I made a very short one that goes, just do a little bit of bling on it as well. I've done a very short one that you can hold. But this brass rod, solid brass rod, these are. These brass rods, I have to weld here, a braze here on that point there, and they're done in two halves. That's why it's brazed there. It comes, you do this up to here, and then you braze it again underneath the leather. But when you was bending this, I've got it on my jig, a little jig over there that I bend it on. What I was finding, let's put that down there for now, was half the time, if you weren't careful, it used to snap as you're bending it. It's just like a fracture that's in the metal. You can't odds it, but if you knew that it was going to do that, cutting my head off here. If you knew it was going to do that, you'd probably heat it up and then put it on the jig and bend it. But the ones that did snap, I resalvaged, and I thought, I know what I can do with that. See, so I made a little. They want polishing now. I made a little one here that you can buy these in plastic on different companies that do all game equipment. the blue ones, and I don't know what the other colour was. One's for partridge, and the blue ones I think are for pheasant. The difference is the gap between these here is slightly narrower for the partridge. But the ones that snapped, what I've done was I just brazed that piece in there onto this one here. This had snapped, so I thought, right, braze that and braze that, and put a very fine pin through there either side there, bucket handle on there, turn it up like that, in your pocket, don't take up no room whatsoever, like, you know, and you've only got to just, you know, give it a flick like that, and you're down, put your pheasants in, away you go. And that'll hold about 9 pheasants, believe it or not. But who wants to carry 9 pheasants on that? That's heavy. Right, that's that one out of the way. So that was something I forgot to mention in the number 3 video. And number 4 video I did, which is this one, I did see online, I don't know, it just suddenly flagged up different things when you go onto my, not my channel, but my news or something, and a lot of people are making these car heaters. Well, they do them out of a quart can. Well, over in the States, quart can is quite regular, but over here they don't do quarts. It's a pint or litre, which is a bit smaller, but this is about the same size, diameter, as a quart can, but not as high. And I thought, I'll have a go at making one of these car heaters, why not? So, in for a penny, in for a pound. So I went round, and as I used beeswax, I thought, I'll use this. So I've got this beeswax can, and I thought, yeah, that'll do it lovely. So I've taken the beeswax out. That's up in the tub there with my other beeswax that I use for re-waxing my wax coats and wax leggings. So it's all going to get used, it's not wasted. Wiped it all out, got a bit of purpose thinners to clean it out. That done the job lovely. With the old kitchen roll, you know, that marvellous stuff. That's another one I've nicked from the wife. And got 1 bottle of that. Yeah, because over in the USA they call it denatured alcohol, which over here is the same stuff as called methylated spirits. It's the same stuff, but you call it, as I say, denatured alcohol. We call it methylated spirit. And that, what's left there, that bottle, which is a 500ml bottle, has all gone in there. So I had to cut the toilet roll down a bit, but that ain't that difficult. Squeeze that in there, got the odd bit, and made it rather than having a little bit of a hole in the middle. Once I folded it and squeezed it in, I got another piece of it and folded that round and squeezed up so it's rammed it in the middle, so it's nice and tight all round. Otherwise, if the hole's slack, I found on the video that I was seeing one lad done, it was starting to burn it all as he'd been using it for a while, quite some time, about a half hour or something like that. It was starting to burn all the centre out, and it's because it was too slack, so it could get more air in, and it was starting to burn the paper. Well, the objective is to get it to burn the meths, or denatured alcohol as you call it, and that there, it's as I say, emergency. You keep it in your car and put it in a polythene bag if you want, but it's all very well saying, yeah, I've got a full tank of petrol, this, that and the other. I'll just sit there with the engine ticking over, you know, and heater going. That'll keep me warm till the breakdown people turn up. But if your engine won't go, or is packed up going, and it's damn cold out there, and over in the States just lately you've had a lot of snow, and I'm talking, well, tomorrow's the 1st of February, so I understand you've got a lot of snow over there. Canada's got quite a bit. So there you go. I've tried it and I thought, oh, that's brilliant, I like that, I like the idea of that. So you ain't going to get cold in the car. The flame comes up to about here, it's quite a high flame, but there's no product smell, and leave the gap in your window open so you've got fresh air coming in, and if it does cause a little bit of fumes, it can escape. So there's no danger of you getting monoxide poisoning. And as this thing, I don't know where I got this flint starter that I was using on video 3 to try and get that dust going. Well, I've cut the striker off of that, and that's now going to go on that tin just to prise it open. And I've got myself a little lighter that I'm going to put on it as well. I don't know what I've done with that, but I should strap that on the side as well. So there you go, put that round that way. That's that little thing out of the way. That's just something else I forgot to mention on the video. What else was it I was gonna... Oh yes, I've just finished. I'll put it in the other. I made what you call a leather, I keep forgetting his channel name. Robert, you know who I am, mate. I've sent you your little washers for your 8-hour stove. You got something coming in the post here, mate. You might want to get your little daughter out there doing it with you, like, because her hands are going it better than yours. I'll leave it at that. So that'll keep you guessing when I say small hands. And I hope you like it. Free of charge, my little gift to you, mate. And because he went out for a cold one the other day. Oh, it was cold, like snow and everything. But he got the stove going. So there you are. It can be done. Where's that little? Anyway, yeah, I'll put that other one in there. I can't think what it is now. It's gone from me now. But oh yeah, here's the other thing I was going to mention. Fat wood. Now, fat wood. Let's get it out of the bag so you can see. Oh, it does smell nice. This is the stuff you can buy online. I put it in 2 poly bags. Loads of it in it. Really nice. I'm going to go out and get myself some. I know where there's some big old pine trees on the Blue Ridge Mountains of Virginia. Sorry. And they are big old pine trees. You get the young ones, you're not going to get much. But I bought that online because I just needed a small amount, and I've chopped them down into smaller kindling, and I've done them myself. That's one of my homemade ones, burnt just like that. That's a bit of ordinary softwood. Stump that out, make sure it's gone out. Well pleased with that. Got myself a little bit, chopped it up. Down at our local store they got these little bags of kindling for lighting your fire. Well, didn't want many sticks, just to chop them up small. I thought, well, you don't really want chunky bits. Oh, and I'll tell you what I made that out of. Beeswax, which I use. I better get that down and show you. A bit of beeswax. Put it in a little pan on my little 8-hour stove, and I turned that right down and it still kept roaring. So where's my beeswax? This is my reproofing wax that I use for my coats and what have you. I just got some of that Oh, lovely. There you go, good drop of gear that is. Put it in a metal container. Heated it up, get it so it's just melted. Get it so it's melted. When it's melted, excuse me, back again, let's just put that back up there, so I'll end up forgetting it. When it's melted down, you just get a few of the sticks, just plonk it in it like, but just watch it that the beeswax, if it starts to slightly smoke, take it away from the heat for a bit, otherwise the next point is ignition. You'll see all the air coming out of the wood, out the ends and out the sides, everywhere, and as soon as it stops coming out, you know what you've done is you filled up all that airlock it's in one little piece of wood. You filled it up with beeswax, and that reproofing stuff I use has got, I made 2 tubs of it, and it's made 2 tubs. I made a pound of beeswax, where are we, half a bottle of here somewhere I think. Oh, God, no, it's gone. Anyway, I think a lot of people know what it's made of. You make a half and half, and boiled linseed oil is one of them, and the other one, I'm looking on the shelf to see where it is. It's sure it's up there somewhere. Oh, you can clean your paintbrushes out with it, that sort of stuff. And I think it's 8 ounces of that. So, and then I'll do the beeswax first, mix that all up. You know, once the beeswax is once the beeswax is all melted, then pour in your boiled linseed oil, I think, if you want. Do it slowly, take it off the heat, pour it in slowly, then put your other stuff in. I'll think of it when I've finished. Once you got that in there as well. Oh, I'm sure I've got some here somewhere. Once you poured that in there as well, then mix it well up, like, you know. But you'll soon know when it's hot enough, because when you're mixing it over a low heat, I done it indoors over a low gas fire, I think, over a low gas oven hob. Mixed it up, and as soon as it starts to slightly smoke, as I said, that the next point is it's going to ignite. Just take it off the heat and let it cool down. Just keep mixing it for a bit until it's cool enough to put in a container, and it will solidify. That's what it does. And that way you can get a cloth, dab it on, wipe it on your coat, and then all you do is you get hold of your air gun and you melt it in. Simple as that. And as I say that, and I thought, well, I'll use that on it. So I've tried that, and as you've just seen there, it's soaked in, and I only use, I've got about 6 or 7 pieces in this little dish at a time, you know, flat. So, and I've seen it all bubble and coming out the ends. I thought, well, that's doing all right. And then I thought, well, I'd better try a piece. So I just put a match to it, woof, and away it went. So if you've got a bit of a problem again with wet wood, or it's a wet old day and you're having a job to light a fire, these do help, you know. Once you've got the fire started, then, you know, you're miles away. You can start drying your wood a little bit, you know, and then start putting it on as it dries out. Well, that's enough rabbiting from me. So, as some people say, I'm the sort of modern day Jack Hargreaves. I don't know if that's true, like, but for people that don't know Jack Hargreaves, there is only one video I found on YouTube of Jack Hargreaves. You can type it in the search bar, Jack Hargreaves, Hargreeves. I used to watch him as a lad. Every Sunday evening about 7 o'clock he used to come on. He used to do fishing, ferreting with the old ferrets, rabbiting with the ferrets, and sometimes you'd have a lurcher dog running around with him as well. They'd be netting him, long netting, then he'd do a bit of fishing, and he'd show you how to do this and do that. It's a bit like your modern Matt Hayes and all the other ones, and Robson Jerome and all that. They're all out there doing this fishing and showing you doing. But what they're doing costs a lot of money. Well, the idea is to go out there and enjoy yourself for as least money as possible. So yeah, Jack Hargreaves, I used to watch him until they stopped, and then he moved over onto but he'd go out there and do all sorts. But now as he got on, he went on to doing finding these people with these dying trades, people that make wooden cart wheels, basket weaving, and oh, you name it, he'd be out there and he'd find these people, and it is a dying trade, because if people don't show them how to do it, it is going to die a death. And it's a shame really, because there's another old boy, he's a gunsmith, Jack Lowe I think his name was, and there's a lot of the gun shops packed up in Birmingham in England here, so what I think he done is he moved over to America, and he was working for Brownells. You probably know Brownells, and he's an old boy, but if you see him, he dithers a bit when he talks, but God, has that man got a wealth of knowledge. He's unbelievable. You see him do these different things there and then, putting a cast on or cast off of a shotgun, unbelievable. And he must be about 75, something like that, but man, does he know his stuff. And as I say, these dying trades, you know, he couldn't get the work over here obviously, so he's gone over there. And Brownells, I think what he teaches people. He's teaching people the trade, which is good really, because there's a lot of them over here don't want to know. We just get inundated with immigrants now, so, and they don't want to work, so we won't go down that road. Right, I've been rabbiting on enough, that's enough from me. So as Jack Hargreaves used to say, cheerio.